At Retrovision, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee, buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at Retrovision.
A lot more secure in the line, pushing forward.
Bad shot here, boys, and we start a roll here. One bad shot to open the door here, boys. Come on, lad.
Yep, one bad shot is going to bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100. That's a pretty good form, Whitney.
Hello everyone, welcome. We are on episode 11 of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you by our fantastic sponsors in Retrovision. Now remember Retrovision, there's 10 days left to Christmas. They do click and collect, which is fantastic, especially for us guys. I don't really like shopping. 60-day price promise. So basically what that means is if the price drops of what you buy within 60 days, you'll get the difference back. And then for an RAC member, you get extra 5% off already low prices for all your favorite electrical stuff that you love. Retrovision's a place to go. Obviously also supported by ESA Sport. Can't see their logo, unfortunately, with the chairs. But ESA Sport make every sporting moment epic, from anything from your sports apparel, your team wear, guest appearances from athletes, sports coaching, and what they're doing right now as well is also the promotion collateral, which is fantastic. So ESA Sports make every sporting moment epic. Johnny Sanders, we know who he is. You can find his number throughout. And they also distribute Everlast sports drinks. Now, 750ml bottles, can't go wrong. They're much bigger and better than the other brands. I'm not going to mention them. Isotonic hydration, beat the heat. Clubs get them in at $1.88 a bottle plus GST. You can't go wrong. Everlast sports drinks. So tonight we're back on the road. We're at Warnbro Swans Cricket Club, the home of the current A Grade Wyllie Cup holders, the Premiers. They also the F Grade Premiers last year, and there's a lot of buzz down here at Warnbro Cricket Club. Come down here, set up a training. There are bodies everywhere. One of the biggest turn-ups to training I've seen in the PCA, no doubt, and it's really, really good. And we're going to speak to a couple of the players throughout the club. We're going to speak to captains. We're going to speak to some of the ladies players, and we might pull one another person into the show. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about some of the results from the weekend. Obviously, a big weekend of A-grade cricket in the Wyllie Cup. And we're also in round 3 of the T20 competition, which is basically B grade through to F grade. So this coming week, we're going to be into the semi-final and the grand final, all played in the one day. And Warnbro do have 2 sides through to the semis in their D grade and their F grade. So they might have some more silverware by the end of this weekend. And their ladies team are in the top 4 as well. They're one of the better teams going around. So a lot of really good stuff happening here. We're going to chat all things cricket. So we had Waruna versus Warnbro. We had Shoalwater versus Pinjarra, Mandurah versus Secret Harbour, and Halls Head versus White Knights Baldivis in the A grade. We'll have a bit of a review, not preview, of those games. And we'll also have a little bit of a chat about the Country Cup game, which was Sunday just gone, where your Peel Cricket Association side were quite convincing in beating the highly fancied Albany and District Cricket Association. We'll chat a little bit more about that, as well as some of the Peel Cricket Association players that have been picked to represent WA country at the upcoming Australian Championships in January. That comp's going to be in Canberra. So we'll talk a little bit more about that too. Look, we're coming up to the Christmas break. So this will be the second last show. We'll do one more show next week before we'll have a couple of weeks off. But we've got grand finals and semi-finals to preview with the T20 competitions, which has been a fantastic part of the season, very well received. So we might be able to have a chat to one or two players that have been part of it and sort of see what their thoughts were or are on the competition. All that and more on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which, as mentioned earlier, is proudly brought to you by Retrovision, ESA Sports and Everlast Sports Drinks. My name's Orazio Santalucia. I'm your host, and I'm here this week and every week. And we are live from the Warnbro Cricket Club, Warnbro Swans Cricket Club, who are the current A Grade Wyllie Cup holders and doing everything they can to protect and keep that trophy here at Warnbro. We'll be back right after this.
RAC members get exclusive deals and offers, plus an extra 5% off on top of our lowest price guarantee at Retrovision.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're back on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you by our fantastic partners in Retrovision, ESA Sport and Everlast Sports Drinks. As I mentioned in the opener, we're here live at Warnbro Swans Cricket Club, the home of the current premiers in the A-grade competition, but more importantly, one of the stronger teams in the ladies female, how thumbs that? The Ladies T20 competition, which we're very proud of here in the PCA. And we've got the skipper of the Warnbro Swans here in Whitney Benson. How are you, Whitney?
I'm going very good, thanks.
That's really good to hear. Now, first of all, I think we'll get this straight off the bat. Now, you're supposed to mention how good your coach is, aren't you? Isn't that what's...
Look, he goes all right. He's fully committed to our team, and yeah, we very much appreciate all the work he puts in.
Okay. Now, the girls are going pretty well. You had a good win on the weekend. So 5 for 123. You beat White Knights 6 for 107, I believe. Got a wicket yourself.
I did, yeah.
But also got a duck.
I did, unfortunately. I think I came out towards the end. There was about 3 balls to go, and I tried to send one that was not there to send.
Okay, so team thing, captain doing the team thing, and that's good. Look, I wanted to sort of start with the journey for Warnbro to have a women's team. Where did it all start?
So I think it was about three years ago, because I missed the first season, and then it was about halfway through their second season. My partner Travis plays at the club, and he was helping out coaching the women's, and he said they were really short one Sunday, and they were desperate in the morning. So I said that I would come and play. I'd never played cricket before, apart from in the backyard with my brothers, so I was quite intimidated, and I believe I got out my first ball, but I had actually surprisingly really enjoyed fielding and really enjoyed bowling, so ended up finishing out that season. And then obviously in the very first year where I missed was when they had extremely modified rules, and I believe the girls were even hitting off cones and things like that. And I think for myself, I'm pretty glad that it's to see its development since I've been in it, because I'm quite a competitive person, and I think once I've got my mind on something, and I think as most of the girls that play sport, you kind of want to progress with the sport, so I'm glad that the rules have continued to change the way that they are.
Fantastic. So with that, the PCA in conjunction with the women, so we've been with the whole way, so we've brought them into the conversation. It's their game. It's got nothing to do with us. We're just sort of happy to support it. We've tweaked some of the rules, and some of them have included the one that probably caused the most controversy, but probably hasn't said or done much since, was that when you're out, you're out. The girls were playing a very modified sort of stage 1, stage 2, a bit of a mix. For those that understand the junior landscape, where basically you bat for a certain amount of balls, and you lose runs for wickets and things like that. And as a starter, that's not bad, but the girls have progressed. A lot of the team and a lot of the have played 2 or 3 seasons, so we just tried to help progress that. But initially it was a real, we're going to get out. I'm not going to get a bat, but the scores have indicated that it hasn't been an issue at all, and to the point where we trialled it, and then we asked the question about whether we want to keep it in, and it was a no-brainer. It was just like, yep, not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think the fear was there that teams were going to get rolled for real cheap, but I think
all the scores are saying that they're all good.
The girls have really progressed, and you can just see it's not just 1 or 2 teams. There's many teams that are getting like over 100 most weeks.
Yep.
And I think as well, it's really highlighting the girls that can really bat and that have put the time in over the few years. They're really having a chance to have a crack. Whereas last year, when you had to kind of divvy like the balls that you face evenly between your team,
yep,
you might only get to face 8 balls. And unfortunately for some girls, you need a couple to settle, and then you want to start to send them, and it's just not enough time. Whereas this year, you can see girls are getting themselves into a bit of a rhythm and able to back through, which is really awesome.
And what we've been able to do as well is sort of tweak the rules in not being so prescriptive where, I guess everyone still has to sort of bowl, but you've got a little bit more leeway in how you structure things. Yeah.
100%.
And because there are some people that, look, they just don't really want to bowl.
No.
And some really don't want to bat.
No, and that's the thing is, like, cricket itself is quite an intimidating sport to come to as an adult, having never played before, and it is hard to come to something that you're completely out of your comfort zone. And cricket is a very specific technical sport, and there is a lot of nuance to the skills that you need to learn to play cricket. And being forced to bowl and do something that you're really uncomfortable with, and it can be such a confidence shaker for some people. But being able to give them a role in a team, whether that's with like keeping or batting or bowling or whatever it is, it eases that anxiety and just, I think, makes the game a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, gives you a bit of ownership, doesn't it? Like, rather than having to try to be good at everything, you can sort of say, well, I mean, I'm not giving up on this, but at the end of the day, I enjoy my batting more, and I want to do a bit more work with that, and it gives you that, like we know about the game. I mean, and at the end of the day, we want this to be the same game for everybody. Yes, we've got many options in cricket. That's it's a good thing and a curse, depends on how you look at it. But at the end of the day,
the test matches and the new bloods, the 2020s.
Yeah, but what we want to do is be able to provide an opportunity for anyone to enjoy this game, however you like it, and then we can try to adjust and provide as much as we can. So with that, we'd love to have a hardball sort of competition. And I know you girls train every now and again with the cricket ball, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And I think, again, it's a very intimidating thing to come to. And obviously having a hard ball flung at you at pace, and like within our competition we don't wear pads. I mean, it's an option if girls want to, and I think juniors have to wear full kit, but we don't wear pads or anything like that. And so often when our coaches are talking about the hard ball or how they step up to it in their games, we're like, yeah, but you wear pads. So I think as well, getting past that fear of getting hit, and getting balls flung at you at pace is, again, just another step to get past. But you can get comfortable with it. Like, once you get used to it, you can get comfortable with it. And I do believe across our competition and within our side, there are girls that can see themselves pushing towards a future of playing with a hard ball and playing with less modified rules and moving towards more traditional cricket. And like, I know, like, for myself, I really enjoy being able to push. And I think across the competition, there'd be plenty of girls that want to do that as well.
And I think it probably showed with the reluctance with the when you're out sort of rule. But once it started, it was like, oh, okay, it's not so bad. And I think the hard ball move, it'll come. I think it'll be next season, which would be great. We're going to trial a few different things in the off season and even in the lead up to Women's Country Week, which we've been twice, and last year I know the girls they won a game. We spoke to the team after they won their first game, and I think they celebrated that quite well. So do any of the girls here look like they might be keen to be part of it?
Well, we have got, I think a few of us would be. Again, it's just because it's something that we've not done before, and I think as well, I've got a couple of mates that I played footy with that have joined this year that are competitive beasts. And I think when there is very much picked up at the thought of being able to play in a more serious tournament. So yeah, definitely, I think we've got some girls that would be interested.
That's good. And it's only going to be down the road with our I guess our good friends down in Bunbury. So they're going to be hosting the next two. And it's the March long weekend, I think. Yeah, when Peel Carnival's on, it's the same sort of time. So, look, it's going to be good. That's built up. That's got better and better as it goes. And the fact that our girls won a game last year and were competitive in a couple of others compared to the season before, and they'll be better prepared again. And I think there'll be more competition for spots to the point where, from what I'd like to think, we might be able to push for two teams. I know we've got about 16 or 17 that have said, I'm keen. So that's closer to two teams than one. And we do it with juniors, where we basically say, look, we just need a few more. We'll register two teams because we think we'll get them. I think we might get two teams, which would be outstanding for us to get there. And if you think from where you started, and even some of the ones that probably started the year before, to then get to a point where we've got two teams that could be competing at Country Week. I mean, what happens there, I don't think it really matters. I'm more about the fact that it's providing progression and just an opportunity to play another format.
100%. Yeah, and like I just think it's really cool. Like I've played like a lot of my life playing footy and seen the progression of AFLW, and I would really love to see cricket have a rise, like in the women's game, the way that AFLW was, and the way that we need to do that is we need to get more younger girls interested in cricket. Like,
yep.
AFL, of course, there's lots of girls that come to it older, and it probably is a little bit more of an attractive sport because you can have no skill at footy and still have a crack. Whereas cricket, you need a basis of skill to really enjoy the game. But yeah, we just need to get to a point where we're really encouraging younger girls to coming through, and they can see their pathway all the way through. If they want to play a bit for fun, if they want to take it more serious, there's somewhere for them to play.
Yeah, and we're nearly got that together because we've got some good stuff happening in juniors. We've got some good girls that are coming through. If we can progress to hardball, we've got that opportunity for community cricket because they've already got the Premier Cricket there. And a good thing, which you probably aren't aware of, but in our numbers of junior blasters, which is the real little kids coming in, the entry level, there's, I believe, 70 to 80 girls across the region in that program. So that's where it starts. At 5 and 6 years of age, they're going to get a fantastic foundation. And they'll come through and they'll have the same skills as what the boys, so they'll be dominating. You know what I mean? So you girls are pioneers because you're going to be setting it up for them to come through.
And they've got the women's Big Bash, like the Women's World Cup. They've got all these superstars to watch and idolise. They just need the space to do it at their local clubs and go all the way through.
Yep. And I reckon watch your space, but next year the women's IPL will be a real thing. There's talk of selling their franchises to the women's team for $50 million US. So that's the sort of money it's going to be floating around in women's sport. That'll be the biggest women's sport.
I just love cricket. And it doesn't, it's not a country by country thing. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you like cricket, you just want to watch cricket.
Yep.
Which I think is probably one of my favourite things about.
Yep.
When you go and watch cricket, footy can get a bit one-sided, but when you go to watch cricket, if you're watching someone have a good knock or have a good go with the ball, you just like cricket.
Yep, and might be biased, but I think the female game of cricket is a very attractive one compared to. I still struggle to watch a little bit of the footy, but the cricket, having worked with a lot of the girls, I guess, but they're extremely talented.
They are.
And they're hitting.
Paid like professionals does.
Yeah, and they're hitting sixes that are going over the fence. They don't need the short boundary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, I tell you what, we might wrap it up there because I know you're probably going to get a little bit more crap from your mates that are just standing over there. But look, Whitney, thank you so much for being so open and honest and coming on and having a chat. And you got one more game before the Christmas break this week?
Yeah, we're playing Mandurah in Mandurah.
Okay, that'll be a good game.
Yeah.
That'll be a good game. One of the better teams as well. So good luck with that. Good luck with the season, and thank you for coming on the show.
Cheers. My pleasure.
Okay, so that was Whitney Benson, the captain of Warnbro's Ladies T20 team. Fantastic chat there. This is the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We'll be back after this break.
At Retrovision, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee. Buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at Retrovision.
Okay, everyone, welcome back. We are back here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. Proudly brought to you by our partners Retrovision, ESA Sports and Everlast Sports Drinks. We're here live from the Warnbro Swans Cricket Club, the home of the current A Grade Premiers, the Wyllie Cup they are the holders of. And sitting next to me here is the captain, the man who got handed that Premiership Cup and created a bit of history here at Warnbro. And this is Kane Standing. How are you, Kane?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Now, Kane, we had a chat pre-grand final last year on the Pavilion. We sort of had a bit of a preview, and you sort of, very humble, and just sort of said, we'll go out there and have give it a good crack and all that sort of stuff. And mate, you guys went out there and just dominated from the word go. It was a rain-affected game. It needed someone to take control, and you guys just went out there from ball one and just took control of the game. What are your memories of it?
I suppose, first of all, it always helps when you go in as underdogs, and I feel like we were underdogs.
Yep.
We were probably underdogs throughout the final series. But yeah, I mean, with the rain lead up and all that sort of thing coming into the game, we were a little bit. We just wanted to get on.
Yep.
That was a big part of it. As long as we got on, had a crack. Obviously, the boys would have been spewing if we lost, but the biggest thing for us is to get on, give it a crack. And it wasn't our first A grade grand final, but with that group, it was very new to 8 or 9 of the boys in the side.
Yep.
So as long as we got on, had a crack, and give it a chance, that was our biggest thing. So we had nothing to lose, put it that way.
And I mean, you had a lot of contributors throughout the season. You obviously had the standout in, Dane Ugle had the season of seasons. I mean, he just made runs, took wickets.
Not his first season of seasons for A grade as well.
Sorry?
I mean, not his first season.
No, he's done it. He's done it before. He's done it. Well, he does it everywhere he goes. He's just a bit of a cricket machine. But to have the Ugle brothers out there to hit the winning runs, I just thought that was such a special moment.
It was, not only just for our team as well, for the club.
Yeah.
It was fitting, to be fair, just for our first A grade flag. I mean, they've been a huge part of our club for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, starting with senior, and then Dano and Keza, and then Liam as well. And now the nephew Didi as well, and he's doing quite well himself this season as well.
He's having a great year.
A lot of, and then Eli plays juniors here.
Yep.
There's a big history with all them boys. And, it was real fitting for them to be out there together, hit the winning runs. It was pretty emotional.
It was. I was proud to be there. You know what I mean? Just to see the game unfold and to see what it meant. It just highlights how important community sport is.
Yeah.
And it was
sometimes because, like I know we go, it's just a game. It's it's just cricket, but I think we all know. You wear your heart on your sleeve. We all know it's more than just a game sometimes. Well,
you invest as captain. You invest a lot of time and effort and mental and your emotions and everything. So it is a big thing. And it means a lot, and it's good, and it should mean something. Which is great. So we spoke a little bit just then about Dane Ugle's history here. Yours when you didn't come last week. So what's your history here?
Under 11s, under 12s.
Wow.
I come here, so and that was my first year of cricket. I played footy for this. I actually played footy when I was 4 or something for this club, and come up and then decided to play cricket. Played juniors. My old man coached 15s, 17s as well. So I had a few, and we won a few flags then as well in the juniors. Made obviously a heap of mates. Played with and against a lot of blokes now that I still play with. And versed in the A grade.
Yep.
And then played my first year when I come out of juniors. I played A grade with Warnbro. We made a flag. We made the grand final. Funnily enough, we lost to Halshead in that grand final, and then played a few years after. Had a little stint out at Rocky for 3 years, which I still played juniors there anyway. So it was new to me, the place itself. But then come back and tried to, I suppose, just rebuild the culture here at the club and just, start to be competitive again, because it did drop off for a while, and Dano was the same. He come the same year back when I come 3 years ago, and we just wanted to just be that Warnbro where people were a little bit, they knew it was a danger game, and that's what we didn't want to be a walk in the park. We wanted to be a danger game, and I feel like we've brought that back, and now
well, you're the hunted.
We are now. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
From being, obviously the underdogs or not, but we're definitely,
Well, you've got the cup at the moment, and everyone wants it.
I still feel like we're not particularly the hunted. I like to, just keep a little bit of underdog status. I think we all know who the hunted is in this year, but we are technically, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, with that last year, I mean, but I mean, Halshead are doing very well, as are Warnbro. I mean, your numbers, Christ, when I turned up today, there must have been about 50 guys out there. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. We do get, like I said, it's taken a little bit of time to build, but we're slowly getting. We get good numbers at training. We get good numbers after.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Good numbers after the games and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's good culture here. It really is good culture.
That's fantastic.
Attracting other players.
Yeah,
as well.
well, that's what build it and they will come, and that's what happens. It takes time, but you get there.
It does. Yeah.
But both yourselves and Hall's Head were at a similar stage not too long ago. I mean, in a it was difficult. Clubs you go through your ebbs and flows, and both of you were down in that sort of period where it was like, geez, it's tough here, and for both clubs to be, up the top and playing off in the ground, it was probably fitting of hard work done off the ground, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of people that do a hell of a lot of stuff.
Big time. And they don't get really, I suppose, enough credit, people off the scenes, you know what I mean? I could go deep into it as far as, the people that contribute outside of the actual being on the field, that sort of thing. I know we owe a lot to Yanni, our coach, and that sort of stuff. Blokes behind the scenes like Dave and all these sort of fellas. The list does go on.
Yep.
But yeah, it's, as we all know, it's not just the 11 or 12 you put on the park.
It's the whole club. I mean, and I mean, you guys had your F grade one, and I know how proud the club was of that as well. I mean, they came around during the game because they finished their game early, and just seeing, everyone was just so pumped. And then, God, the scenes when you guys won, my Lord.
There's been a few replays from everyone over the months afterwards of watching it again and again. So yeah.
Okay, now this man here is the king of the red ink. Not quite on the weekend, but every game before that, there's a lot on it outs this year, mate. And I wasn't the only one to pick that up, was I?
No, I mean, I don't like getting out. Fair, I never have. But look, it always goes down to doing whatever's required for the team.
Yeah.
And I want to be out there. I hate sitting and watching. I don't even, most of the time, I don't really even like watching. I enjoy other people's success, but I don't like watching other people bat.
Yep.
I like to bat. I like to be out there.
Yeah, you'd rather, yeah. No. And I'm only taking the mick. I mean, it's his job. He's captain. He's the leader, and he's one of the better batters in the competition. His numbers tell you that. So
Just slide dig, that's right.
I'm just having a little crack. Yeah. And have you always kept?
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably, I'd be struggling to count on my hands how many times I've been in the field. So yeah, I've always kept. That was my old man. Same deal. He kept when he was young, and then he taught me the basics. And then I grew up. I learned from a few lads. I was lucky enough to learn from a couple of pretty good keepers. Solomon, I forget his first name, but Solomon, he was a real good keeper. Sort of set me on the path. And I'm a bit of a sponge. I'll just learn from whatever I can. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love it.
Well, I guess saying what you said before, you don't really like not being involved. So keeping you there every ball.
Yeah. Plus, I'm in the back of the batsman's ear. And I can...
No, surely not. Just want to quickly go through some of the A grade results, and seeing you're the current Premiership captain, you might have a good insight into how things are going, because we can see it from the outside, but he's sort of seeing it on the ground. Look, we'll quickly go over your game. Wasn't the best day at the office?
No, we didn't have a great game. Obviously on the weekend, cricket's funny like that. Sometimes you can overanalyse stuff. I mean, we've put it behind us as far as there's not many positives to gain out of it. So, we just, I mean, as cliche as it might sound, it just wasn't our day.
Yep.
I mean, it always is hard. Going out to Waruna, it's always a tough gig, but we come in with full of confidence. But,
well, they're a good side. They're one of the teams to beat. So, Warnbro all out for 70. Waruna got it. None down. Nick Milligan got 52. They did it quite quick. I mean, the whole game was done within 45 overs, I think. That's what it worked out to be.
And Milligan's someone I've also played down in juniors and that sort of thing with, and he's progressing really well, starting to become an A grade bat in the comp that, you want to get the wicket off. So.
And Waruna's one of the, I mean, like, they're always there, aren't they? They're always there or thereabouts. And they're always one of the teams that you want to beat. And like you said, it's going to be a tough game. But look, we're round 9 or 10. So you don't win the premiership at this stage of the season. You can lose it, but you guys are, So it's done. Move on.
That's the one.
And we're going to move on to the next game. Shoalwater versus Pinjarra. Shoalwater 6 for 234. Big score. Big contribution from their overseas player, the Zimbabwean first class player in Charlie Kunji. He got 125 not out, and that's been coming because he got a big score in B grade one of the games. Washouts in A grade, so he just dropped down. And I mean, he's here to play cricket, so I mean, so be it. And he showed his class there, and he's just continued that. He got 50 last week or the week before, and 125 not out, and he was ably supported by, I think, one of the, he's in the conversation for one of the top players in the comp, and in Dudley Cortland, he got 70. And then they bowled Pinjarra out for 123. So big win for Shoalwater. So you haven't seen Charlie yet, have you?
No, I haven't. Be good to see him this weekend. And
or see the back of him, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully won't see him for it's good, you know what I mean? It's a challenge for the boys. If you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So.
Yeah, and it's good getting some new talent into the competition.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. It's something we always yarn about, trying to, we want the competition to be strong, you know what I mean? It's great for the Peel comp, and I do think we are a fairly strong comp, you know what I mean? We've got a lot of blokes out there, and obviously Dud's one in question, he's always been a solid cricketer. He showed that on Saturday, he showed that on Sunday for the Country Cup.
Yep.
There's a lot of good cricket out there, and I think a few of these boys could be playing or pushing at least for one's cricket, Premier cricket. I mean, life takes over sometimes.
Oh, 100%, and that's what we want to be. We want to be the competition that people want to play in, and provide that opportunity however you want to play,
Sure. No,
sure. But Dudley, he's in the runs nearly every week. One of the really nice guys, and a bit of history here.
Yes, played here. Back in the day, I mean, you could go through a few fellas in the Peel comp that have played here before. I don't know who rubbed them wrong, but you're always welcome back, lads. But yeah, he did. He played here, and like I was saying to you earlier as well, we played a bit of Rocky Mandra as well together.
Yep.
I was a lot younger. I think I was 16 or so, 15, 16.
So what are you saying? He's 95.
What's that?
You're saying that Dudley's like 95 years old or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 60. Showed it in the field on Sunday.
He's the best-looking 65-year-old, if that's the case.
He goes all right.
We love Dudley. He's my favourite left-hander. I keep saying it. Okay, we move on to the next game. Mandurah versus Secret Harbour. Mandurah batted first, 204 all out, and that was led by Ben Britton, new recruit to the team and to the competition. He got 59. He's having a belter of a year, really.
Bloody beautiful year, yeah. I think he come over from Mornington.
In Mornington Peninsula competition. He was captain of Dramana Cricket Club. Mornington Peninsula is a very strong competition in Victoria. It covers a big area.
Okay, yeah. And like real nice fella too.
Ripper. He's one of my lot, mate, Victorian. We're all good.
Okay, dodgy then.
So he got 59 and he's taken wickets and made runs regularly. He's having a stellar season. He'll be right up there in the mix for player of the competition this year.
Yep, sure. Yeah.
And look, Secret Harbour had it's not a bad chase, 145. Cody Smith got 56.
Oh, he's not bad from Cody. That's good.
Yep.
See, I mean, he's always good for a 20 or 30 code, so good to see him make a 50. That's well overdue.
Yeah, and that's not a bad chase. But I know some people aren't too best pleased with this one because you might not hear the end of it. But Stuart McLean got 5 for 22 for Mandurah.
Yeah, everyone hates when Stuart. But good on him. He bowls well. He fights hard, Stewie. You know what I mean. He goes hard, so that's always good. I mean, don't think he's got me out before, but on for next game, Stu.
Well done, Stu. It's all in jest. And the final game of A grade on the weekend gone. Hall's Head 7 for 249. Probably guess who top scored for Hall's Head. This young bloke called Jack Manuel.
Hitting them for fun, eh?
He got another 80 runs. He's going to get fined very soon, we believe, for not converting. So that's the word on.
He does hate a ton, I think.
That's the word on the street that he's got to convert. Otherwise, he's not allowed back in the pavilion. And he was ably supported by Tim Miles, who got another 68. Those two have done some big things this year. Batted very well. White Knights 9 for 185 in reply, and Brad Williams. They're Brad Williams. I know there's Brad Williams everywhere, but
there's one here. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So this is the South African Brad Williams.
Better Brad Williams, by the way.
He got 45. Look, I mean, all jokes aside, Jack, he's just having a belter of a year, isn't he?
Yeah, Jack, I think might have been a couple of years ago, and I've always, I mean, when we verse him, I won't obviously let him know this, but I've always thought he's the best bat in the comp. He looks real good technically. You know,
He's got gears, isn't he? He can sort of...
He can manual, I suppose, not bad.
Wow, that wasn't planned at all. Anyway.
He can hit him from hole one, so we've been lucky enough to find ways to get him out early enough.
Yep.
But yeah,
it was a big moment in the grand final last year, wasn't it, really?
Big time, yeah, big time. And it always is, you know, these sort of bigger bats, like, pressure's always on them, but if you don't get them, then the pressure sort of turns around pretty quick, so...
Yep.
No, he's doing good to see him hit some runs. Hopefully he doesn't against us, but he's doing well. And I thought I was waiting for a year like this where he does open up and start to really hit some runs around. So, good on him.
Yeah. Well, he has over 600 runs up till now. He's still got one more hit this weekend before the Christmas break, so he could have, you know, in the 650s, 660s, if he keeps going this way up to Christmas. That's not a bad
status, really, isn't it?
Yep. And I did. I think I mentioned, but I'll say it again. I mean, the man is a legend of the competition in Jamie Lee. I don't know how long ago it was, but I've asked around because I'm a newbie here. You know, what is the biggest sort of run total for the season? And Jamie Lee was like 1,400 and something runs one year. I don't even know how that happens, but that's ridiculous.
A few tons in that one, I think. and he's done. I think he's hit over 1,000. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, it wasn't his first rodeo, was it?
He's hit a few, at least a couple.
Yep.
But I think a few 1,000 run years, which is
it's ridiculous.
Crazy, really.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So that wraps up A grade. Weekend coming just very, very quickly. Where are we? Get the old trusty My Cricket. So this week, round 11. So we've got Waruna versus Singleton. Singleton had the week off, by the way. That's why there was no Singleton score. Singleton versus Waruna versus Singleton at Waruna. They play some catch-up games at this stage because they don't play at home for the first little bit. You guys have got Shoalwater here. That'll be a big game, I reckon. Yep. Big game. I mean, you want to go into the Christmas break on a high, don't you?
Yeah, we both know it's a huge game for both of us. So, hopefully Duds doesn't do too much. Just for old Warnbro's sake there, Duds. With Mitchy Smith. But no, it'll be a good game. We match up. We always match up pretty well against
them. So I think that's match of the round here. Pinjarra versus Mandurah at Ross McClarty. Look, Pinjarra have had a bit of a rough trot lately, but again, it's that last game before Christmas, one last hurrah, a couple of weeks off. That's a danger game for Mandurah, I dare say. I think Pinjarra could, they only need a bit of luck.
Depends if Hooter's back for Penny. I'm not sure if he is.
That's true. Big Adam France, who's just been selected in the Country 11. And Secret Harbour Dockers versus Hall's Head, and that's at Peelwood. It'll be Secret Harbour's home game, but it'll be at Peelwood Reserve. And that's available on Frogbox to watch. So that's A grade, and that's a wrap up here. And just before you go, obviously we've got the T20 finals for B through to F this weekend.
Yes.
The semi-finals and the grand final all played in the one day. You guys have got D grade through, and your
D's and F's.
F grade through. Just before you go, very quickly. The vibe good? I mean, like, have they enjoyed it?
Yeah, they're loving it. I think it was a good mix-up this year, the 20s mid-season. I think it's good. It sort of changes everything up, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Our boys are keen as for it. I mean, it doesn't change a lot of batting in the nets throughout the week. These boys are trying to clear the front and hit it over square, but they're getting around it. We had a big, like you say, big turn-up today, even though we had 3 teams playing this week.
Yep.
Big turn-up, everyone's keen, so hopefully the lads can bring home the chockies and it'll be good.
Yeah, and it's the start of something that we're very proud of. So, some of the boys on the executive, Ash Wyborn in particular, mate, big push this big tile, and well done, mate, because I think it's been a winner.
Lovely work, Ash. It has been good.
And it's good to hear that's been the takeaway, that there was a little bit of reluctance, but I think it's because it's different. But once they got into it, even some of the old boys have come and gone, oh, geez, I've had a bit of fun. Christ, having fun playing cricket. What the hell's going on there? Look, mate, thanks a lot for your time. I said 10 minutes. We've gone a long time over that. But thanks for your time today, mate. And good luck on the weekend.
Beautiful.
So that's been Kane Standing, current Premiership captain of Warnbro Swans Cricket Club. And you are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We'll be back after this.
At Retrovision, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee. Buy now and pay later. And an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at Retrovision.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. We are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to you by Retrovision, ESA Sports and Everlast Sports Drinks. We are recording this live from Warnbro Swans Cricket Club. We just had Kane Standing, captain of the A Grade team, on before. And earlier on, we had Whitney Benson, who's the captain of the female T20 side. So really good to get a sort of a wide range of the club. And they are one of the more successful clubs going around. They've got teams everywhere. They've even got 2 teams in E Grade. And, you know, women's team that's going strong, good junior setup. So they're doing really, really well here at Warnbro. So really, really good to be here. A lot of noise, like I said earlier, coming down, and there was just so many people here. It was ridiculous. So it's great to see that the club's doing so well. And as mentioned in our chat with Kane earlier, that the fact that it wasn't too long ago the club was really struggling, but it just takes a bit of hard work, and you make it a place to be at and to stay at, and that's where you are. So it's really, really good. Mentioned earlier, it is finals day for our T20 comps from B to F, and the semi-finals look like this. We've got Hallshead versus Rockingham Hornets and White Knights Baldivis versus Mandurah. That's going to be at Stan White. That'll be a big one. The winner of those 2 semis goes straight through to the final, and the final will be played straight after. So big day of cricket there. C grade finals are at Baldivis and Arpentar, and I think the grand final will be back at Baldivis. So you got White Knights, Baldivis Cricket Club and Hallshead, and you've got Singleton and Shoalwater in the other semi-final. The winners of that will go back to Baldivis to play in the grand final. So White Knights, they've got 1, 2, there's 2 teams already. The D grade, we've got Rockingham Hornets versus Warnbro. So that's the first grand final that the Warnbro boys are in. And then we've got Waroona and Shoalwater. That's going to be at Karana there at Rockingham Hornets ground. That's the D grade. E grade, we've got White Knights, Baldivis and Hallshead, and we've got Mandurah and North Baldivis. That'll be at Peelwood on the outside grounds. And in F grade, we've got Singleton and Rockingham Hornets, Warnbro and White Knights Baldivis. They'll be at Laurie Stanford, with the winner of those 2 games playing the grand final at Laurie Stanford. So look, it's going to be a really good game of cricket. Day's cricket, as I mentioned earlier, had some fantastic feedback. A lot of people having a lot of fun, enjoying the game, and it's just changed things up a little bit. And it means that everyone will play each other twice in their normal season. So it's kept a bit of integrity in the competition, and you get a chance to win silverware. You get 2 chances to win silverware in the season. So really looking forward to it. I'll be heading out, I think, to the F grade game. I'll be presenting the grand final trophy and medals to the winners there. I believe that's where I'm going, unless my executive tell me to go elsewhere. That's, I think, where we've got to. So I'll be looking forward to that, going out to Laurie Stanford and enjoying the hospitality out there. Country Cup. We played Country Cup last Sunday. I'll just get some scores up. We played Albany and District Cricket Association. Obviously got a little bit of history there. Winning the A Grade Senior Country Week a couple of years ago at the Wacker Ground against Albany, where a very young Corey Wyllie and Teague Wyllie dominated the game and won the game. And it was a big, big moment in PCA recent history. After round 1 of the Beltup Country Cup, where we didn't have such a great game, we played Bunbury and District. We got 9 for 190. They chased it down 3 down, did it quite convincingly, and we're clearly the better team on the day. No question there. Had a bit to prove this one. Albany had a really good win against the Invitational 11, so they've come here cock a hoot, thinking they're going to win this and then get through to they'll be definite finalists on the back of that. We knew we had to win, in order to stay in the race. Batting first, we got 9 for 235. And out of that, there was an outstanding innings by Dudley Cortland, who really held the innings together, because at one stage, PCA were 5 for 52. Nathan Crudelli was bowling unbelievably. Josh Dallymore at the other end for Albany. Dallymore's from University Cricket Club. He's moved to Albany for the last couple of years, and Crudelli got some real good pace and bounce and caused all sorts. So 5 for 50 was looking a little bit rough. Dudley Cortland come in and did what he did. And he was joined by Adam France, the big all-rounder from Pinjarra. He made 72 off 65. He just dominated the innings from ball one, just middled everything from ball one. 5 sixes, 4 fours. Between them, they put on 126 run partnership, which really turned the game around. And then we had some really good sort of cameos from, so Damien Burridge got 22. Prav Chalal was the overseas player we decided to go with this particular round. He got 23 off 26, and we got up to 235, which is a good score in the end. And then in reply, we bowled out Albany for 164. Josh Rudger, captain, got the boys together just before they went out in the ground and really revved them up. And the players sort of did what they needed to do. Really good bowling from Chahal again. He opened the bowling. He got 2 wickets. Ben Britton, though, the all-rounder from Mandurah, new player this year to the competition, 3 for 14 off his 8, and he turned the game around himself with the ball. Just as Albany was starting to get a nice little run on, he bowled superbly, got some good pace and bounce, and did quite well. All the other bowlers chipped in, and just a special mention to the under-21 player that we picked, Braden Haskell. That was his second game, and he got 4 overs towards the back end and bowled really, really well. The young man's really sort of coming on, and he got 1 for 19 in his 4 and got some real good pace and bounce himself, and was quite impressive. So 71 run winners there, and we're looking forward to the next round, which will be 29th of January. So got a little bit of time between games. That'll be against the Invitation 11, and we know that we win that one, win it well, we'll get through to the final, which will be 26th of Feb, so we'll have another month between that. So that's that there. Out of that, we had 3 players. Yes, 3 players get selected in the Country 11. Part of the Country Cup is all about selecting a Country 11 that's going to go off and represent WA in the Country Championships, which this season are going to be held in Canberra, that country town in the Australian Capital Territory. Anyway, look, it's not a bad place to play cricket. There's some really good cricket grounds, good facilities, easy to get around. Been there enough times with in my WA WACA days. So 3 players got selected. So Damien Burridge, who obviously plays at Rockingham Mandurah as well, but he's got a connection with Hall's Head and plays with them regularly in the Retrovision Premier T20 competition. And he's a Hall's Head boy come through. So he's playing Dan Abel, clearly one of the best spinners in country cricket. He's one of the first ones picked, and has just done what he does every week. So well done to Dan, well done to Damien, and big Adam France, a late run on the outside rail, on the outside, just come in, dominated in front of one of the selectors on the weekend. Always sort of player that they really want to try to get involved. They've obviously had a bit of a chat. I know he had to work some things out about work and all that sort of stuff, but clearly one of the better all-rounders in country cricket. Big fast bowler, bats very, very well, athletic fielder, really good cricket brain. So really wrapped for that. So we've got 3 players in the Country 11. So we're really proud and gunning for you. So well done, guys. Our next aim is now to try to get some females in the female team. So we'll be looking at that. And this time next year, we'll hope to get at least one of our girls in the country team. So that's that there. What else have we got coming up? So as I mentioned earlier as well, this is the last round before the Christmas break. And I know a lot of people are probably looking forward to that. It's been hard work. We've had weather to deal with and all sorts of stuff. It's always challenging every year, but it's also a good time to reflect. And I've mentioned numerous times throughout, not only tonight, but other sort of shows that you get to the Christmas break and you can sort of reflect and sort of work out, right, where are we? Where do we need to go? You sort of work out, right, we need to win so many games, and if we do that, we can get into the finals, because all you got to do is get there. Whether you finish first or fourth, I don't think it makes much difference. Or do you reassess? You sort of had some goals and you've either ticked them off and you're thinking, well, we've got to keep going, so you reassess and you change things up, or you work out what your final goal is. So maybe you haven't had the greatest start and maybe you are too far behind, but what can you get out of the season? What is it that you can get out of it? Can you start to blood some different players? Can you start to think about different roles for players? Because it's amazing what the break does. It stops momentum, or it can be the opportunity to start fresh. So it's up to you really to work out how you want to sort of run with it. But at the end of the day, we've got the festive season coming up. Look, it's been a hell of a year. Forget about cricket. We've dealt with some serious stuff over the last 2 years, but this year's been a tough one, no doubt. And a lot of people, I think, are just tired and probably looking forward to that break. And I think it's important that you acknowledge that. And if you do get a chance to have a break, just have a spell, enjoy the cricket, enjoy the Big Bash. It's on the tally now. Test matches, we got the South African series, which is going to be a real belter. I mean, 2 bowling lineups we haven't seen this strong for a while. The South African bowling lineup is class. Rabada, Nortje, Jansen, Ngidi. They've got Maharaj, left arm orthodox. They've got Simon Harmer off spin. They're a really good bowling lineup. They're going to test our batters. We've obviously got our bowlers. We might see WA's Lance Morris come in at some stage. It'd be good to see. He's a country boy. He's come up through the ranks on the outside rail there as well. Bowls quick. He's seriously quick. So it'd be really good to see, a WA boy and a Dunsborough boy go through if that was the case. So good luck to Lance. Currently got our 3 boys, Australian under 19, in the Australian under 19 championships. WA led by Teague Wyllie, Mandurah's Teague Wyllie, Corey Wasley and Jai Donald. And they play their first game today. And I do believe they got a victory. So they played New South Wales Country. They kept them to 199 and they chased them down 3 down, WA did. So with the ball, we had Jai Donald open the bowling, big fella, and he got 1 for 33. Obviously bowled well there. And then with the bat, surprise, Teague Wyllie, Captain Teague Wyllie, 81 not out, led the way, got the team over the line. Corey got 24. Batting at number 3. Corey also got 99 on the weekend, batting for Rockingham Mandurah. 99, they were chasing a big score. I don't think they really were in the hunt, but used it as a bit of batting practice, I guess, and 99. But we've always got this thing, 99, 100. Does it make much difference? I don't really think so. Jump on the on My Cricket, go on to the Cricket Australia State is the part of My Cricket you want to go to, and then there you'll find the under-19s. Follow our 3 lads there, which would be fantastic to see them continue and make some runs. Get behind the Scorchers. They start on Saturday. Maybe not this Saturday because we've got some cricket to play, but if you get a chance to get out to Optus, get behind your Scorchers. They're obviously one of the favourites to win the competition, and I think the Big Bash is going to, really still be an exciting competition. I know I enjoy the T20 cricket. Speaking of T20 cricket, Tuesday night gone in the Retrovision Premier T20 League, we had White Knights Baldivis versus Secret Harbour, and Secret Harbour got up. Bowling White Knights out for 81. Really good bowling display there. Really, there's some really good tactical stuff happening there. Skipper Cole Jeffrey really got his troops sorted. Alex Osborne, the marquee player, the leg spinner, he got 3 for 21. Jared Dawson got 2 for 17 at the start, and everyone just sort of did their bit. Bowling him out for 81. Really, really good work there. And then they chased it down 4 down. Cole Jeffrey, skipper, man of the match. He got 33 off 36, not out, and just held the batting innings together. And it was really, really good. I think the club's had a bit of a tough season, and that could be the difference. That could be the sort of thing that turns the club around. So we've got one more round of that coming up this Tuesday, Rockingham versus Mandurah. Now, this is going to be a humdinger. Both of these teams need to win to get through to the semis, which will be in the new year. Both, I think they played each other last year in the semi-finals, if I can remember right. Or they were there or thereabouts anyway. So this will be a real humdinger. Both teams need to win. I can't pick it. I don't know. What I do know is that I'm going to really look forward to Tuesday night, and this will be the last game of PCA cricket before the Christmas break. And that's live and exclusive ball-by-ball coverage on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket channel. That there wraps up this edition of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to us by Retrovision. Remember, 5% off their already low prices if you're an RAC member. ESA Sport, make every sporting moment epic, and it's starting to get warm. Make sure you've got those Everlast in the fridge, in your club fridge, in your home fridge. 750ml bottles, less sugar, isotonic hydration, beat the heat, stay hydrated, get that Everlast in. My name is Orazio Santalucia. We've been here at Warnbro Cricket Club. This is the Pavilion. We'll be back again next week. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
RAC members get exclusive deals and offers, plus an extra 5% off on top of our lowest price guarantee at Retrovision.